It's streaming.
Okay, perfect. Yeah? No, I don't think so. Oh, yeah, you're right. It is. But usually it says something. Usually says, oh, the live stream is now started.
It says it on mine.
What? It did say it on yours? Oh, it didn't say it on mine. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to. So I want to introduce to you, first of all, thank you, everybody. Thank you for all the speakers who come on. You know, we have tremendous Akara Satov. Thank you, everybody who shows up every morning. So Esther Malka Margaretin Astrug, I hope I said it right. I don't think I did. She lives in the holy city of Tzvat, which Baruch Hashem is an amazing place. She says, she's a retired nurse and Bubby. And she's devoted her time to assisting a rabbi who teaches a pre-conversion program. And she sends Jewish educational material by WhatsApp and online to students in the conversion process. I want to thank Naomi Batya, who brought us Esther Malka. So Esther Malka, are you there? I'm going to put myself on.
I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. Thanks, Esther Malka from the holy city of Tzvat.
Hello, everybody. I'm Esther Malka, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. After all of that, oh my goodness, what can I say? This is such an elevated group of ladies. I can't speak before you. You're so pure, you're so holy. What more can I add? But so I'm just going to speak from my own perspective. So today I wanted to speak about how we can tap in to Yemosa Mashiach to help us now. Because obviously, from what everyone says, we're going through some kind of process of Chevle Mashiach. With everything that's going on in the world, it's just so horrendous. Whether it's the things that are happening globally, the government's changing in Israel, the new laws, anti-religious laws that they're trying to make, the way that the American government changed over very drastically, and all this business going on with Corona and the vaccines, yes vaccine, no vaccine, all the violence and anti-Semitism and etc., etc., etc. And the things that people are going through in their own personal lives, which I just, I heard, what everyone is davening for. And it's the things that we're facing right now are just devastating. Every single person, of course, as we all know, everybody now is being challenged. Hashem is sending tremendous challenges to all of us. How are we going to get through this? How are we going to get through these days? Only through Emunah. It says that our sages tell us that the one single thing that's going to help us in the time before Mashiach is just to hold on to Hashem, to hold on to Emunah. So how can we utilize this? How can we tap in to the times of Mashiach to help us now? When Mashiach comes, everyone is going to see Hashem so clearly. It's going to be a presence in the world that's going to be like the daylight. Like we could see the sun, like we could see the physical world. We're going to be aware of Hashem's presence very acutely. That nobody is going to be able to deny Hashem. The nations, everyone is going to see his presence clearly. He's going to manifest himself in this world, that he is one, his name is one. There's nobody but him. So we need to cling to this. We need to focus on this now in our time, and this will get us through. So what are the things that we can do? What are the strategies that we can do? Number one is tefillah. So it's very important to speak to Hashem in our own words, not only in the davening, but also we need to develop a kesher with Hashem that's very strong. Am Yisrael is like the wife, and Hashem is the husband. Just like a husband and wife, they need to constantly be strengthening their relationship. They talk to each other. They need to communicate. So Hashem communicates to us in our daily lives by all the things that he sends us, all the happenings that he sends us, and it steers us in the right way. And we have to talk to him about all of that. We have to talk to him about everything that's going on with us. Make a time in your day, even if it's just for 15 minutes, alone, quietly, and just talk to Hashem. It's so important. Make a kesher. Like, thank him for everything that he's doing for you, and bare your soul to him. Tell him everything that's going on in your life and how you feel about it, and ask him for help. And then confess anything that you feel that you've gone wrong. And then ask him for everything that you need. He's just waiting to hear from you. He's just waiting to hear from all of us. He waits all day just to hear from us. And he loves us infinitely, no matter what we do. He loves us like his special, only child. Each one of us is an only child to him. So tefillah is so powerful. It just shatters the heavens. Like Hashem is the only one that makes anything happen in this world. Ein od milvado. Nothing happens without him. Everything that's going on is only from him. So if we say to Hashem, no matter what's going on, this challenge, that challenge, Hashem, I know that you did this. I know this is only from you. It's not from these crazy people over there in this office or this agency or this neighbor or that relative. It's only you, Hashem. You're the only one, and you set this up. This is an assignment for me, and only you can help me. If we confess this to Hashem, that we realize that he's the only one that does anything, this is so powerful, and he will hear us, and he will help us. Another thing that's important to make our tefillos very powerful is that our mouth should be pure of any lashon hara, any onas devarim. We should only say positive words to everyone, lift up everyone around us, inspire everyone around us, make everyone happy, make your fellow Jew king. And Hashem will hear us because we are putting our fellow Jew before ourselves. If we uplift a fellow Jew, then Hashem will, we make our fellow Jew beloved in our eyes. We will be beloved in Hashem's eyes, and he will hear us. And our mouths will be pure, and our tefillos will rise before the kisei hakavod. Lashon hara, as we know, impedes our tefillos. But if we keep our mouths pure, then they will have the ability to rise and do their job. Everything that we daven to Hashem goes up to the Shmayim, and it has a tremendous effect on the higher worlds. And then that in turn comes back down and affects the physical world. And that's how anything gets done. Hashem, of course, does everything, but he acts as our shadow. And whatever we daven to him, then whatever we do, whatever we say in our lives, he acts as a shadow and he reacts according to that. And this in turn affects the whole physical world. So this is how we're going to get through these times, these challenging times. We have to believe. And that's another thing. It's important to know that Hashem is right here with us and he's listening. It's very important that we realize that Hashem is just waiting to hear, and he hears every single word that we say. And he is just waiting to help. So in our family, we had a very big challenge just recently. We had a family member who was staying with us that wasn't well. And this was a very, very, very difficult situation, a devastating situation. We did everything we could, but there was nothing that we could actually do to help the situation. And so, every day was something new. Every day was a new challenge. And the only way we could get through this thing was to talk to Hashem every single day. And he showed me he was listening. Every day he answered me on what I was asking him. And I believe that he was doing this to make me realize that this is the way that we can get through this period of time for Klal Yisrael. We have to know he's listening. We have to talk to him. So I just wanted to tell you a personal story about our family, because I think it's important for everyone to tap into your own personal miracles. Because if we remember the miracles that Hashem has done for us, then, and we constantly review it, look at what Hashem did for me over there, look what Hashem did for me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, look how he saved us. We need to go back to these things in order to strengthen our emunah, that he's listening and he does help us, that he's with us, is so, so important. If we look at the Hashgacha Pratit that goes around us every day, if someone is looking for Hashgacha from Hashem, then he will show it to us. The more we look for his hand in our lives, the more he will show it to us. So we need to live with these small miracles, all these, even the small, big, with everything that Hashem does. We need to live with these things in order to strengthen ourselves every single day. So I wanted to share our miracle. It's an amazing thing. So as some of you might know, I wasn't born Jewish. I was born into a non-Jewish family in the middle of the United States, far from any Jewish community. And when I was 12 years old, Hashem sent me a Jewish friend. She wasn't religious, but she became my best friend. And she shared with me her way of life. She let me participate. Like, they used to invite me for Friday night. They had like some kind of a Friday night meal. She used to take me to their shul, which was like conservadox. It was a very traditional shul. It had a Shomer Shabbos rabbi who was doing outreach. And she would take me there Friday night. And she would show me what to do. She would, now we bow, now we say Shema, whatever. And this had a very big effect on me. And she saw that I was very interested in her Tanakh. I used to like look into it. So she gave me her materials, how to read Hebrew. And I learned to read Hebrew. She gave me some vocabulary books. So by the time that we both grew up, I knew a fair amount of details about Jewish life. I didn't know about Torah, but I knew a lot. When I went away to college, there was a Chabad rabbi on the campus. I made many Jewish friends, and these Jewish friends were going to this Chabad rabbi, and that's how I got a taste of Shabbos. And when I came to experience Shabbos, it wasn't a day, it was a place that you go to in your mind, in your soul. And I got hooked. I got hooked on the Jewish way of life, on the way of Torah. And sof kol sof, by the end of the year, I had been converted by an Orthodox Bezdin. And from there, I got married. And we went to live in Tucson, Arizona, where we raised our children. And one by one, they all went away to study in yeshiva or Beis Yaakov. That's a miracle in itself, that Hashem took our family and he did so much for us. Yishtabach Shemo. So I lived my life as a Gioris for the next 44 years. And but even though I was very, very happy, of course, but the thing of it is that I always envied people who had Jewish ancestors. Only somebody who was in my place could understand this. Other people had bubbies and zaydis, that in all kind, they had a Masorah that was handed down to them. And even if they weren't born religious and they made tshuva, but they had someone back in the old country somewhere that they could go back to. And oh yes, the Baba was from Ukraine, or or, but I didn't have anything of this. And I was honestly, I was jealous. I wished I could have some kind of Jewish ancestor. So just at this time, Hashem sent to my daughter, who was already grown up with her own family. She started sending her guests who were studying for conversion from Spanish-speaking countries. And it started getting my daughter thinking that maybe my great-grandmother from the south of France, whom I didn't know too much about, I just knew what was her name and where she was from, maybe she might have had some kind of connection to Jewish people. So we went online and we joined a genealogy company, MyHeritage, and we put in my great-grandmother's name, and it turned out that that other people from the same family had put information there, and we were able to trace back our family. And we found out that I'm descended from Jews. I'm descended from Spanish people who crossed over the border into France. My grandmother told me that her family were Huguenots. That's like a French Protestant sect. And I searched online and I found out that who were the Huguenots. Many of them were actually comprised of Jews, Spanish Jews who had crossed the border and who joined this group of people because they couldn't come out of hiding. France had already expelled all these Jews, and they really weren't supposed to be there. So they had to pretend to be Huguenots. This is the story of my family. And I was like, oh my goodness, like my whole life turned upside down. And then somebody who had posted a lot of information about our family onto this MyHeritage site, she sent me a link from a French archive going back to Portugal. In other words, it had our family tree with my grandmother going all the way back to Portuguese converso people. In other words, Jews who had been forcibly converted in Portugal. And I'm going like, this is crazy. I didn't know what to do with myself. All of a sudden I had Jewish ancestors. And so, I mean, this whole thing just shook up my whole life. And it's not enough that Hashem brought our family back after 500 years. He wanted me to know it. He is there. And he is with us. And he wanted me to know what he had done for us. That he rescued our family from oblivion after 500 years. This is a miracle, but we're not done yet. So after that, I moved to Eretz Israel, and I moved to Sfas, and I discovered there's a distant relative who is descended from the same people as me. She is a distant cousin, like an 11th cousin. She is descended from the same Portuguese people. We found each other through mutual friends. This is mamish. I mean, what are the odds? What are the chances? So I want to tell you that whenever I am faced with a huge challenge, with a difficult situation, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, I go back to this and I say, look, Esther, look what Hashem did for you. Hashem rescued your family. He brought you to Torah. And he even showed you that he even brought you your 11th cousin. And he showed you who you're descended from. It's the greatest miracle. And it gives me so much chizuk. Whenever I have a doubt that Hashem is with me, I go back to this. So every one of us needs to do this. We need to find miracles in our lives and live with this and live with Hashem. And this is how we're going to get ourselves through this difficult time before Mashiach. Hashem should help that we should see these days of Mashiach very quickly and with a lot of rachamim. I'm dedicating this to the Ili Nishmas, my Machutan, who passed away a number of years ago. He was a very chashav yid. Dov Shraga 50. Ben Mordecai. And I thank you. Thank you for joining today.
Wow, that was really very moving and inspiring. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. It's like it's almost
my
so you woke
privilege.
up. It's almost so you were waking up our neshama, what we have, being able to. We didn't even have to make choices, right? You made that choice. We don't even.
Well,
It's almost
Hashem,
like it's waking us up to you know who we are and what we have and what we have to do. So it's really unbelievably
Hashem.
inspiring. Thank you so
Baruch
much. That was
Hashem.
so beautiful. And Hashem should continue to bless your family with bracha and hatzlacha and
Amen.
just boundless abundance of in gashmis and ruchnis and everything for your whole family.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing with us. We felt
My
your
pleasure.
neshama. Thank you so much.
It's a privilege.
Thank you.
For
It's our
inviting me.
privilege. It was our privilege. Thank you. Thank you so much. So just quickly, everybody, I'm just going to read something from Mahavir Yisrael. I'm just going to take us off of live.